on how QY can make his presence felt here in Ever Sleeping Town. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here's the lineup. We got YG.
Is gonna be the second match, first game, or day 3 of the Call of the Abyss 4 Global Finals, and QY looks like he's on the hunt and ready to go.
QY making a sweep around the center of this map, trying to look for someone, and found SXY over near the graveyard, and now shifting his attention, carrying detention as well as trump card, starting things off, I believe, with Patroller. A great pick. You need to be very calculated with your aggression here, because it's all about placement when you drop that Patroller. Leeches YJJ already. This is actually a great target, just so that the Priestess can exhaust all her portals, so that the survivors won't be able to have an exit strategy coming into late game.
Yes, and okay, so pretty good start off here. I think this would be a huge asset for QI if he could close out on this Priestess a little bit early on, just so that you don't have to deal with those pesky portals in the long run. And it does look like YJJ is already starting to position in, but
the owl, it ran out. He waited for it, but look at that holy key being used. The Patroller is still on her, gets that swipe, an early hit. We do see some Cypher progress, so the Priestess is doing a pretty good job in containing, but how long can she do this? We're gonna see QY go for another Patroller, but with the forward, excellent forethought here, because the forward can definitely stifle the progress and the aggression of this Dream Witch.
yes. One thing we also have to take into account of is there's just a lot of factors going on. QY, great build up here. It's just another one of those things where we're making sure that the Hunter does not have a dull moment as far as the chases. On the flip side though, a pro for XROCK right now is that this mechanic is still running free on the map. So there you go. Another chomp onto the Priestess. Can this follower close out? Again, this Priestess would be such a huge asset to XROCK if kept up, but a detriment, losing out on a little bit of the slipperiness he could have had on Ever Sleeping Town if this Priestess does go down and onto a rocket ship.
Priestess doesn't have that much pallets to work with anymore, and we see that QY was closing in. Switches just to see the mechanics doll. Excellent swipe there just to see where the mechanic is at, but then this Priestess able to slip away from the grasp of QY. So attention is being dispersed, divide and conquer. That is the way to counter this Dream Witch. And look at that excellent heal on the side of that forward, just so that the forward can go for those stuns and go for those rescues. Resources are looking pretty good on the side of the survivors, considering that we still have 4 ciphers remaining.
Yes, and okay, QI trying to get into proper position before eventually designating two followers currently on the tail of YJJ, but the timing
wow
of this control, wow, indeed.
Yeah, look at that. Able to get away, distance himself. Again, Corner House and Priestess is such a good combination, especially with the Holy Keys. The Patroller is still on her, so QI has to time this right, and he did that with just the leeched followers. So excellent down, but are they going to 2 ciphers remaining? And we're going to see 1 cipher pop already, so they are pushing for that endgame.
Yes, indeed, and just 1 more to go for them. Still a bit of a way to go, but phenomenal progress. Best thing about this for XROCK right now is, okay, YJJ will be committed towards a rocket chair, but it's all 4 survivors still alive and kicking, 3 of which are still at full health. So there's a lot to work with, a lot of resources that XROCK still has to actually get a good game out of this.
You see that the Seer is over there at the graveyard. He already got his anti-curse, and now we see that the wanted order is put on the forward. Now, question is, how will they time this rescue? The forward is making his way. We do see that QY is piloting the main body, goes for the rescue while QY was piloting the main body. Excellent utilization of the football, and now SXY buying some time, as well as QY getting his attention diverted to the last cipher that's remaining, but another cipher is also being worked on.
Yes, just to have that plan B, since Graveyard is currently not the best bet with 2 followers in the trail. It doesn't like that Seer had to abort. There you go, taking down any further slipperiness from XROCK right there. But still, like I said, XROCK has a lot to work with nonetheless. And look at these 2 ciphers already nearing completion, so that gives them a lot of options with what they want to pop, depending on what happens within these next few seconds. They can afford the down at this point.
Yeah, they're forcing the the battle to happen at Graveyard. Now moving their attention over here to the exit, the fake exit, if you would, or the exit part of the map. Now over at the rows and the columns, nice juke there on the mechanic. Will she go for the pallet drop? No, oh wow, she ate that hit. Good trade just to buy a little more time. QY now gonna get that leech on that mechanic. QY is still fighting, but two ciphers are still remaining. We're seeing a back and forth battle between the Graveyard and this exit here. What will pop first? QY's attention is being diverted.
Yes, there's just so much that QY needs to account for, and there you go. That's going to be the down, but will the pop follow? Yes, indeed. Back up they go, and T is going to run for the hills. Drops that pallet just for an extra contingency, but of course, QY not going to want to have any of it. Tries to drop the patroller, and will just chomp straight on to this particular survivor. Question is, can the down come on? XROCK, though, has all the luxury elsewhere on this map to make sure that they get all other survivors out and safe.
That's true, and SXY, great drop on that pallet just to use it, but we are going to see him try to get away from his leech. He does have a decent amount of football, used it right up away. T is gone. SXY is rotating away from his leeched follower. It's going to be a tough struggle here for QY to try to down some of these survivors. The tension will be a factor, so can he deny some of this? Can he play defense and salvage some of these survivors? Going to get a swipe on the Seer.
Yes, can potentially go for more, though. Transverses over to this other follower. Not going to be able to sniff out anybody, though, as everyone else is already making their way towards the other side. Going to try to go for safe passage here. Sky just SXY rather just kind of still sticking around. Going to drop that survivor towards a rocket tier. Will they potentially try to go for a save, or just go straight for the X's this time around, because these survivors are still lingering around the area?
Well, the thing is, Arthagona, this is the first chair of the Seer, so they can still compose themselves. They can still try to weigh out the tension like what happened in the previous match. So I guess they're weighing their options, trying to get their anti-curses out of there. No rush, because again, we know that QY is trying to guard the exits, because he knows that they will be trying to go there. So maybe they're just trying to collect their options, communicate with each other, thinking of a rescue plan on how to get the Seer out of there, because halfway is already done. We see them disperse. We see the forward trying to get out his leech. That would definitely help them out. Billy is the only one that is in the rocket chair. The clock is ticking. Will they commit? The priestess already open an exit gate, waiting for an exit strategy. I believe that the forward will try to make it there. YJJ is being chased away, and we're going to see another exited just right over there at the exit. So definitely something to take note of. SXY, oh, we see Billy expiring already. SXY trying to make it out there. He is so close to the exit, trying to make his way, but look at that. Oh, gets the hit. No more detention.
Yes, no more detention, but still has to be very careful. Going to try to make a way for the dungeon, already nearing very close. Will the follower come in time? That will not be the case. Jump straight in, and that, ladies and gents, is going to be a 3 survivor escape total, meriting a 3-1 in favor of XROCK for this first half. GG, well played. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say more. Again, when it comes to the Dream Witch, so XROCK does have XROCK's AFU has some confidence coming into this match. Definitely has a buffet of hunters to pick from, and it is the Sculptor that is coming out first. We've seen the Sculptor in numerous maps, as well as Ever Sleeping Town, and she has wreaked havoc. I wonder, though, if we'll see the same happen, or a highlight of that Priestess portal exit yet.
Potentially spell trouble, even for such a talented hunter such as AFU. But you know what? Picks have been locked in. Here's your spread of survivors and the hunter going into this game. Chat, let us know who y'all are rooting for.
Be nice. Here we go. AFU spawning over, I believe, at the corner house, trying to sweep his way towards finding the most optimal target, which has been the Seer for most parts. But, you know, you did see that Priestess tried to get downed in the first round, but again, can be very slippery. Is carrying detention, so he is accounting for Endgame. So we are going to see, I think also is carrying teleport, so quenching effect might be a factor if he's not able to get presence within the first 50 seconds of this match.
Absolutely, and look at this. AFU will be spawning Yo too, so gonna try to get the landing already at half, by the way. Yoshi forced to use out that owl just to grant himself a little bit more extra time, some extra blasting power going up against AFU. And the scary part here is that AFU is already within close proximity of the survivor. Bobo will be in the area to try to supplement, but nice coming in from Bobo to try to grant some distance for Yoshi.
Yosu, again, just making sure he gets as much distance as possible, using that opportunity of that stun to move over to to a better part of this map to try and kite as long as possible. But again, it's so hard with all these statues coming at you. He is running in a straight line. We've seen this before with Paul Blems, where he was able to lure the hunter into a false sense of security to get run over by that tram. But in this sense, AFU is able to down his first survivor, but another survivor is waiting at the wings there, as well as a global portal, so a normal portal. So again, AFU, great, excellent, the down, as well as a cleanup of that holy key.
Yeah, still nonetheless a great start here for AFU, because ciphers are only just about to reach completion, and as a result, should they decide to go for a rescue earlier on, then that's gonna slightly, just ever so slightly, put a halt onto a bit of the progress. Not to mention, we did see the forward kind of committed earlier to supporting this here. So the progress on ciphers has been nothing short of just simply steady. Not quite the rush, but then again, given the composition, that's kind of what they're dealing with.
I would still say that AFU is playing this very wisely, because again, they have 2-point leads, so they want to be able to camp. AFU again exploiting the ever so powerful camping tools of this this sculptor, and making sure that, you know, he secures one survivor, because it makes it all the more harder for these guys to catch up in points. He wants to be able to secure this round just so they'll have a little more confidence coming into the next one. And King K gets an excellent drop there, half-life already, but you're going to see a seer go back to the manor.
Yes, that's already one out for TIANBA. Can AFU go for more? There's a lot of room to work with. 3 ciphers with some pretty decent progress on them, one of which is already finished. So there's still a lot of groundwork that TIANBA has to work with here. A decent start, but then again, with only 3 survivors remaining, they really need to start picking up the pace.
Yeah, AFU committing to this mercenary. Oh my gosh, the tram once again, the most devastating hunter in all of Call of the Abyss history, gets AFU, but he is still determined, uses that teleport, doesn't care if he gets run over. This girl's in a wheelchair. How dare you, driver of that tram?
That is just huge violation right there. But I think this was a smart move right here, transitioning over to pressuring a cipher. Not to mention, you don't want to waste too much time chasing up all the way towards the second door. Is it gonna be another one?
Oh, the carnage! My gosh, she is in a wheelchair. Can you guys like honk? Okay, I'm pretty sure they do, but this is definitely a break that TIANBA needs, and needs to be able to capitalize on, because this is definitely a change of pace, a halt in the momentum of AFU, because he already used up his teleport. The slippery target known as the Priestess, able to gain so much distance, so much mileage away from AFU. Now Bobo is in the area, but with a decent amount of football.
Very decent, in which case, yeah, AFU looks like we'll continue to commit towards Bobo. We're going to start smashing in some sculptures to not need to close out any distance. Bobo will use that football to try to distance himself, but AFU is slowly closing in. We'll proceed to the second story of this building. AFU not going to be buying on it, though. Notices the transition towards the ground floor, and it's going to be a nice close in. Will it work out, though? Pallet drops coming in back and forth, going to deter AFU a little bit there, but this forward might want to move on to a better area, and that will happen.
We see that this forward is buying so much time and so much attention away. Vaults it, but has the vault right back. He's so good at juking this this sculptor. And you see the Priestess going for that heal. Excellent resiliency here. Excellent timing on that heal, as this forward is able to get the attention away from the rest of the survivors. 3 ciphers are so close to being popped. Actually, 3 are left, and you know what? They are investing a lot of time. But teleport is going to be a big factor for AFU, and depending on where he sets his sights to, he wants to go for that tie. Goes for the teleport. Where we're going, corner house, tries to find a target there, but just hits the Priestess's portal. Again, excellent disbursement of the survivors in this mid-game match.
Yes, now AFU is gonna try to find another target. Looks like wouldn't have to wait long actually, as he finds this priestess, the one that has actually been causing a bit of problems as to why some of these survivors have managed to become slippery on this map. So looks like at this point in time, AFU just trying to keep note of these ciphers as well.
Articuno, that priestess, the one that got away, the one that's causing so much trouble in this match, just using those holy keys just to gain so much distance and get exit strategies whenever AFU gets that teleport. And AFU just has to play cleanup and try to be able to not allow this priestess's presence to be felt. Now going back to the mercenary trying to make his way to some real estate advantage here, but again, the pallets were already being dropped there. This cipher is so close to being primed, but then the delayed effect, going to the corner just to buy some time. The delayed effect is going to be a huge factor coming into this. Can he down this mercenary before the cipher is primed and ready? Again, it's just so hard to down this mercenary, especially with that delayed effect, and the cipher is already primed. We're gonna see a hit of the mercenary, pop of the cipher, not quite yet.
Oh my goodness, that was unfortunate timing for the mercenary right there, at the wrong place at the wrong time, and as a result, they did have to hold off on that pop right there. Might want to try to go for that rescue first before going to full commit onto it. Luckily, this is the mercenary's first time on the rocket chair, so they have quite a number of seconds of luxury to work with, but they had to act fast.
Yeah, they do. Well, Bobo, again, going for that rescue, knowing that the priestess is ready to pop that cipher once the rescue's made. I believe he still has Tide Turner. Yes, he does. So that'll buy a little more time for him to gain a bit of distance here, but they're going to have to time this cipher pop just right, because again, once he falls down, that's when they have to pop that cipher. Priestess is waiting at the wings. You see that the forward is over at Graveyard. Did make that save before the halfway mark, and both of them will be falling down. So AFU, again, needs to pick and choose wisely, and he is going to commit towards this mercenary.
Very interesting, in which case mercenary already going to make his way down over AFU though. Yep, he's going to make that jump, continue to commit towards this particular target. Tram, is it going to cause a problem? Again, looks like both characters were able to dodge around this time, but oh man, does fall eventually in the end though. Those sculptures have much to deal with.
It's so hard. I swear, this Tram is just going to be the most nerf coming into the next season, I swear. So AFU getting the mercenary in the second round on this rocket chair, does have teleport. Will he be able to use it or use the chisel to check first? He knows that he feels like there might be a survivor coming around this area. AFU can go for just the ties because again, XROCK does have that luxury. Uses the chisel, sees some scratch marks on the floor, and